Blog Talk Radio.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Balance, my minions. My name is Tom Marquis, Presidente, and I am on loan from God for the next 2 hours to guide you through this crazy world of sports. And there's no one better equipped to do that than myself and the Balance team. I tell you what, we talk about it all year long. We can't wait for it to get here. And then we put so much energy into it, and then it just goes away. The Indianapolis 500 was a fantastic race in a lot of ways. One for the record books, and standing by in the Balance Green Room is Mathew Embury, WSBT up in South Bend, but is also our official IndyCar contributor, and certainly we'll get into how that affects his griditology. But what a great race it was. Obviously, Simon Pattison went to win it, and hence the title of our show. Simon Says, the month of May, won the GP, but we're back to normal. We're back to normal programming. We're back to the normal show. So also coming up is Steve Wilson from Speedway Digest. Going to be talking some NASCAR down in Charlotte. Also, they're in the Pocono Mountains this weekend, so we'll see what's going on there. Not to forget, hey, by the way, can I brag on my St. Louis Blues? Yeah! St. Louis Blues in Stanley Cup NHL Finals, also NBA Finals. Boy, there's no drama without curry, right? And I'm not talking about the awesome Indian dish, but so we'll get into that as well. Kit Sterling from KitSterling.com is going to join us, and we're going to talk about his Cubs. We're going to be talking about the Stanley Cup. We're going to be talking about the Pacers. We're going to be talking about the NBA Finals, and then we're going to actually so last week, Tony Donahue from 1070, the fan, was supposed to join us. We had some phone issues, and he was gracious enough to rain check to today, so he will be on. I promise you. I talked with him last night. We got everything working. All the phone lines are working. There'll be no issues. Tony Donahue coming up at the last segment of the show. My name is Tom Marquis, Presidente. Don't go anywhere. 917-889. And do I even know the number? 917-889-8516 are digits. We'll be right back right here on the Balance Radio Network.
Tonight.
The Air National Guard is a reserve component of the United States Air Force and serves alongside active-duty Air Force members in times of a national crisis. In addition, the Air Guard serves the state and local community in a wide range of capacities. The reason people join the Air Guard is as diverse as our members and includes such reasons as a deep desire to serve their country, money for college, travel, new job skills, and the pride that goes along with belonging to the greatest military organization in the world. I joined because I felt a calling to serve my country, but I didn't want to be far away from my family, so the Indiana Air National Guard was a perfect fit for me. With over 95 different career opportunities to choose from and 100% paid college tuition to any state-funded college, why not give us a call? Call 1-800-841-3103 or visit online at goang.com to find out more. Again, that's 1-800-841-3103. The Air National Guard, guarding America, defending freedom.
It's double trouble, double the fun at African Safari Wildlife Park in Port Clinton, Ohio. See the largest antelope on Earth, the giant eland, and the ugliest creature on Earth, the African warthog. There's so much to see and do, including the Midwest's only drive-through safari. Feed the animals. See live educational shows. Feel the excitement. Have your picture taken with a python or cockatoo. Feel the adventure. Shop the Simba Lodge gift shop with items available from around the globe. Visit the snack bar or picnic facilities. Enjoy a pony or camel ride. Or cheer your favorite porker on to victory in the famous Pork Chop Down. Bring your family to see the rare and exotic animals at African Safari Wildlife Park in Port Clinton, Ohio. Just take Route 2 to the Route 53 North exit and follow the sign. Only 17 miles west of Cedar Point via Route 6. Open every day, rain or shine.
When you don't go to Geico.com, car insurance can be confusing. Like Swedish techno confusing.
Bark, bark, meow, meow. Dance with me, purple cow. Bark, bark, meow, meow. Ooh, you lovely cow.
Geico makes it easy. With 24/7 access, all you have to do is go to Geico.com and you can save money on car insurance. It just makes sense. Unlike, you know.
Dance with me, purple cow. I like your move.
When you don't go to Geico.com, car insurance can be hard. Like early 90s heavy metal hard.
I'm yelling and screaming and I'm loud. Roar.
Geico makes it easy. You can review and update your policy or report a claim on Geico.com or the Geico mobile app. Because shouldn't we all have a little less stress in our lives?
I'm not even upset about anything.
Welcome back to the Bell. It's time to kick things off. Standing by right here with us now is Mathew Embury, WSBT up in South Bend, our official IndyCar contributor. Matthew, it was so, we talk about it. The thrill, the agony. There was so much fun in the month of May. We can't even begin to go through it all. But well, let's try. Simon Pattison, it was a game, as Simon says. And what a race it was. We talked last week. We thought, well, the weather was going to be an issue. Come on. Now, as I told you there at the track, standing by there at the red carpet, the sun was there. We got the whole race in. We thought we might have a rain delay. I mean, God truly is an IndyCar fan, Matthew.
Well, thank God we did get it in because obviously with all the tornado warnings in the Indianapolis area, and obviously we're thinking about all of our mates, unfortunately, that took a big chunk out of it the last couple of days. But, yeah, we got it in certainly, and give Pagenaud credit. He dominated the race. And, yeah, I knew early on, I thought, well, Ed Carpenter's going to get the lead on him early. It never happened. I knew at that point you could probably put a stick in Ed's chances. And Newgarden, just, I don't know if they made a change late in that car, faded, whatever the case was. But beyond that, I got to say, I feel bad for Rossi. And I really, I got to say, lost a lot of respect for Oriol Servia. I mean, he's a lap down. He's the oldest star in the field, probably the smartest man. Yet he's chopping off Rossi on multiple laps. So if there's a guy that I think I've lost a lot of respect for in the day since that race, unfortunately, Oriol Servia's name is high on that list for what he did to Rossi. And, you be the judge on what happened at the end of the race, whether Pagenaud was blocking or not. There should have been a penalty. I mean, it's a moot point now, but got to say, I'm sure it's going to be very determined Alexander Rossi because I think he has a right to feel like he got wrong just a little bit throughout the day this past Sunday.
Well, we'll definitely get into Alexander Rossi here in a few minutes because he's having a better weekend. There's hope in the future for Rossi. And I tell you what a great competitor Alexander Rossi was. And you know what? It's the Indianapolis 500, and we could say what we want about Oreo. We could say what we want. There's all kinds of things that we could go back to. But here's the thing: Team Penske knows how to win in Indianapolis. Here, my ears were glued to the scanner or the radio of a lot of teams, but certainly Simon was one of my key things, and I knew that they were going low on fuel. And I was talking to some other people there at the track, and of course, everybody knows that I watch the race from Turn 4 as a fan, because part of what we do is we talk about what it's like to be a fan. I mean, the media center is great and all, don't get me wrong, but I like to hang out with the fans. I like to, of course, I don't get as crazy as some of the fans out there at Turn 4, but nonetheless, I was just like, Simon Pageon's having some fuel issues. That wreck where they stopped it at, I think we had 25 laps left, somewhere around there. That wreck really helped Simon Pageon, but he was struggling a lot in fuel mileage, so he backed behind Joseph Newgarden and basically worked as the team there, and he allowed Joseph Newgarden. Joseph Newgarden was ahead of him, and then kind of dragged him around or pulled him around if we want to get into the technical aspects of it. But he basically used Joseph Newgarden's car for about 30-ish laps, 20-ish laps to regain the fuel mileage that they needed to finish the race. And it came down to, it was an exciting finish. And I tell you what, every time Alexander Rossi's there at the end, it's exciting. And it was an exciting finish. And let's face it, if the roles were reversed, would Alexander Rossi block Simon Pageon? Absolutely. Would anybody block anybody coming down that stretch? Absolutely. So I don't blame Simon Pageon for racing. That's what happened. I'll give you your things on Oreo, but I mean he's tried so much and this very well might be his last Indy 500. We don't know, but he's not been able to make the ride, so he's trying to prove himself. So he was out there trying to do that. So other takeaways for the month of May before we move on to Detroit. Man, just forget about Indianapolis that quick, Matthew. Go ahead.
I think right now the question is, how's Carla going to recover? I mean, they had an absolutely horrendous month, and not only did they fail to get Alonso in, I mean, there's a lot of big – I don't know if you saw the article that I don't know if it was Jim Aiello or Robert Miller did, and Trevor Carlin really laid it out on McLaren Zach Brown because I think there was, I guess, a thing going that Brown said that Carlin didn't give him the support they needed and vice versa, and then Carlin said, well, Brown didn't ask for it, and I don't think that's going to be a relationship. Even if McLaren comes back, I think they're going to be looking for a new partner. And it's not to say that Carlin's a bad team. I just think Carlin overextended themselves this past month, and they paid the price for it. And, that could happen at Indy sometimes. You get overexcited and overexuberant, and you just overfocus on things instead of just getting the job done. And I think that's what cost them, and that's why Pato O'Ward, Max Chilton, and Alonso failed to get in the show, and unfortunately, I think it's clear they could have been a factor on race day because Kimball was up there until he got taken out in the accident that claimed Ray Hall and Bourdais, and I'll be very curious also to see how Ray Hall and Bourdais react coming to Detroit there in close conversation either today or tomorrow, because I have to say, when you force someone into the grass like that, I mean, he could have easily hooked. I mean, we could have been talking another Robert Wickens type accident if that had gone any worse than what actually happened. So I think you look at that case, I think Graham Rahal, even though, he's one of the more outspoken drivers on the circuit, I think he had a reason to be more than just a little bit disgusted with Bourdais, because you just don't push someone into the grass, especially there in a corner like that. That's just asking for trouble.
No, you're absolutely right. There's so many storylines that we could get into with the Indianapolis 500, but I do want to get to Detroit. Before we move on, I mean, we've got to be somewhat impressed. I mean, I know it's only a one-car race. I certainly, it's way too early to be having these conversations, but do you think Peppa Mann made a good audition at the Indianapolis 500? I think so.
She did, yes, and Clausen Marshall did. What they did is they just kept their nose clean and they went about their business. They knew what they had to do, and they executed to the max and got it done, unlike